Ladies and gentlemen, we return to you finally here from the Qruxel Studios, and it's ESL Ladies Night.
Yes, indeed. Here we are with me, Zolor, and Mr. Tenshi, of course.
Mr. Tenshi.
Mr.
So
Tenshi.
formal, that makes me sound so professional, as if I'm an important person.
Yeah, with your suit, man.
I haven't suited up.
It's Sunday. It's laid back
It is
Sunday.
Sunday.
It's a very chill and relaxed tournament we have here
That's
for you today. We're going to take a quick look at the brackets. We had just them recently updated.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So if our production man can bring us that for us.
Yeah, we'll just give that a second.
In a second.
Yeah, like we said, guys, by the way, we are following QueenE throughout this tournament. So if you're a fan of her, then this is a treat for you. Now we have the brackets here right for you. So
Alright, so the Miyako and Piscolita match is not updated, but
Yeah.
we have the information for you guys, and it is going to be QueenE versus Miyako.
Yeah, they're going to be facing off now, and their first map is going to be Nimbus. There we go. I actually did F5 on my computer, so that's updated. The people to advance are going to be Sun and Qruxel in the upper bracket, and then lower, QueenE and Miyako into the semis. Down into the losers is going to be Poison, Kian, Piscolita, and Zai.
Sounds very good.
Yeah, those are the results in just now, guys.
But it's really nice to have a double elimination because as an ESL admin myself, we have gotten a lot of good feedback because these women are playing in a really, really minimal bracket as there are only 8 players. And that's basically usually where we are at the female tournaments today. But they are very appreciated. And,
I mean, I think it's a great initiative that you sort of, push these kinds of things. Because just in general, it brings more people, includes more people in esports as a whole. And
we also see a lot of women coming in and try it out.
Yeah,
as their first tournament. They don't really play a lot of other tournaments, but these female tournaments are very popular for women to get in, try their first ever tournament. As we've spoken about earlier, it's a lot of nerves coming into a tournament. It doesn't matter the size about it. It's that you're going into a tournament, there are admins there are people casting you. I mean, there's a lot of nerves there just doing that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of differences, from just sitting at home playing casually in your basement. But yeah, so I mean, it's a great chance. It doesn't matter, if you're a guy or a girl, just, jumping into things, playing in the smaller tournaments, it's a great way for you to sort of, sort of come into what is actually esports instead of just, gaming.
Indeed,
because,
and also you get
difference.
to meet a lot of other people.
Yeah, that's
playing
I
in the
think
same
that's a big
league.
thing.
So maybe you meet a new training partner as you go along.
Yeah, friends. And made lots of good friends in this industry, guys. So why don't you just come down and have a beer with us and, probably enjoy it.
At some event near you. Probably.
You'll be at DreamHack, right?
Winter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's going to be at DreamHack. I'm going to be at DreamHack. Are you going to just hang out with people, or are you going there to work?
No,
or
I'm just going to...
just hang out?
I'm just going to be a person.
Just be a person.
And I'm just going to hang out with
I'm going to move my hair
all
back,
these
actually, because my hair has been all over the place today.
You can't really make up...
No, I can't.
your mind about that.
It's way too long. I need to cut it. I'm going to be working that as a tournament admin, though, for StarCraft 2. And so if you guys...
The DreamHack Open, isn't it? Yeah.
Huh?
The DreamHack Open, isn't it yet?
Yeah, I'm probably Res 16 and everything, there on. But I'll be a DreamHack admin anyway. So you guys, if you hang around there, come and say hi. If you run into Zolor, go and say hi to her as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now,
did I hear the clock ticking?
What?
Did I hear the timer kicking?
I think you did. I think you did.
So we're going in on Nimbus?
Yes, that is going to be the case. So we're just loading in. And so, grab a popcorn.
Miyako is playing Terran, isn't he? Yes,
yes, she is Terran Master Race.
Awesome.
That's how it is.
It's going to be a QueenE versus Terran. Instead of Miyako, she's also playing for LDLC, I think.
Yeah, well, guys, anyway, without further ado, let's jump into our first game between these two players. Now, spawning bottom left, wearing the colour blue, representing my insanity, she is QueenE.
And of course, her opponent spawning here in the top right, playing for Team LDLC, we have Miyako, playing as the purple Terran. I think this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, we'll see. I did take a look at the Ligalac, and QueenE's best matchup, arguably, was PvP. I think she was 75% or something else, absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. But what about the PvT? Do you think... we haven't seen QueenE play a lot of PvT,
have we? Most games... Because, I haven't followed her super recently. I followed the result on paper, but I didn't think I haven't actually seen many games recently.
No.
But from the amount of games I've seen like through the years, from like when she broke through and stuff, I've like mainly only seen PVZ and PVT.
Yes.
No, I mean PvP and PVZ from coming out from her.
Yes. But we do have a Terran, Miyako. She is from France. Sorry, and she is well known in the female tournament scene that we bring up here from ESL. I mean, she won one of the latest tournaments that we had in the summer, if I'm not purely mistaken. So she's a former crown bearer,
a former champion.
A former champion here.
Yeah, so maybe QueenE has come to prove who is the rightful queen, the rightful heir to the throne, or will Miyako maintain that crown? I mean, we'll see. Now, QueenE is going for the single gas gateway expansion, probably, unless we see a second gas go down, which means there's going to be tech. And Miyako, on Miyako's side of things, just a gasless 1-rax FE.
No expansion from either player as of yet, but yet in the PvT, I think the expansions are a bit delayed as of the formal nature of the bracket, or the current meta.
Let's see, banking that money. I mean, it's an Embers, it's a huge map.
Yeah.
These plays across. There's a lot of time really to set up things. Now, one thing to point out though is the fact that the natural expansion is very, very susceptible to drop play. So
it's on the higher ground though.
No, but yeah, but like as you there's airspace, a lot of airspace around the sort of area in the natural. So like it's very easy for a Terran player to swing around with Medevacs. And at the same time, it's also easy for Protoss to sort of come in with a War Prism. So, I mean, I'd absolutely want to see a lot of emphasis on drop play from either side now here in Game 1.
We're popping into 2 gas here, and in the production tower we see a couple of Marines popping up here. And following up with a bunker there to protect herself a bit further. She's going to poke in with that SCV though, and it notifies the expansion there, but she also has an expansion for herself, so everything is just clean and dandy.
I mean, she just wants to be checking, like, so to make sure that QueenE isn't doing anything crazy, you know, like going for a Stargate, or like at least a proxy. I do believe that she did see what's it called? The second gas. No, she actually didn't. Like, looking at the vision, she did actually not see that QueenE has taken a second gas. And to be honest, I think that's a bit sloppy in scouting, because if you don't know the Protoss is going for 2 gas, like, I mean, if you don't check those gases, the Protoss can be going for 2 gas and then just like fake the expansion, cancel that, and you know, go for Stargate or anything else like that. So I think she's taking a bit of a risk. Now QueenE isn't doing anything crazy, but if she was, then I think Miyako would be in a lot of trouble.
Speaking from a Protoss perspective, do you think? What do you think from QueenE, what she's going to pull up here on Nimbus?
Well, I mean, she did go for the 5-minute robotics, and I mean, it's a fairly standard way to play, very safe. You have the detection, you can tech to Colossi, you know, so that's reliable splash damage. You can add in Immortals if you want to go for a bust. The Robo is actually very flexible, so it's very flexible, but it's generally the standard way to open as a Protoss.
We have the 1-1-1 coming up here from Miyako.
Yeah, 1-1 opening with she's going for
mines.
Yeah, going to be drop play.
Interesting. I mean, those mines could be really painful as a Protoss if you don't have the observer out by this case.
Yeah, but I mean that's why you open the 5-in robo, just so you can stay safe, really, versus any sort of stuff like that. But there's one observer right now for QueenE. She is going for a second one, adding in 2 gateways as well and a robo bay. Now, and she's taken those additional gases really quickly in a natural, not even caring to saturate the minerals too much. To be honest, I think that, you know, looking from the state of QueenE's infrastructure, that she might just be looking to attempt to end this game quickly with the Colossus all in.
Is that so?
Yeah, I'd absolutely say that is something that we could very well be seeing here.
And that is affordable from a 2 base.
Yeah.
With that amount of gas, yes, of course. We have the observer like scouting perfectly here on the edge, so she sees the medevac coming out there, so she knows exactly what her opponent is up to. So QueenE is just going to put up some defenses, and there's that.
Yeah, I mean, she's got the Stalkers, she's got the MSC, there is enough energy for overcharge, and I do believe that there should be an observer. No, wait, there's actually
Just
one.
two
there's
north.
Yeah, she needs to get an observer into her main, like, just to sort of keep it close to her units so she can kill that off. I mean, she saw the drop, and she saw the mines as well. Maybe she wasn't paying attention. Now this drop is coming along on the lower side here of the map. Quite tense moment here. There we go, the boost does go into the main. Cannon does go down. Photon overcharge as well, also being used. And QueenE does pull off all the probes, and those mines actually not doing virtually any damage. And that's going to be the loss of 3 mines.
Yeah, it's just fortunate there that she can't go back in and pick those up. These stalkers are perfectly mined in there. They gotta get the mine before it burrows down. Very well played out defense there from QueenE.
Yeah, and losing that medevac is actually quite a big deal for Miyako. Attempting to follow this up with Banshees and Cloak. Now QueenE is adding in with that foot +1 armor, Colossus range on the way, extended thermal lance. She's also got the Twilight Council as well. Now QueenE is absolutely gearing up, teching in all different kinds of directions. Maybe she'll go for the third. Maybe I misread the state of things.
Yeah, there was a lot of economy going in there from Miyako to be able to get at least some probes. I mean, she got like 3, I think.
Yeah, like barely anything.
Yeah, very, very few at least, and that is not really the outset that you want to get from this push that she made. And we're going to look at the third base here from QueenE. And actually a sneaky third base here from Miyako.
Oh, yeah,
I like this.
A proxy one, as well as adding a CC in the main. Wait, she's got the third CC complete. She's
Yeah,
building
there's a
2 more.
fourth.
Yeah, this is extremely greedy from Miyako, and she would like actually die to anything that QueenE can do, like if it was a sort of 2-base pressure. But QueenE's going for the third. She's playing it sort of safe, going towards a macro style.
Yeah, I saw the stalkers there. Does she know about this?
No, I don't think. I
No,
don't
they're
think
just
she's
passing
seen
out
this.
there. Okay.
No, she can't. She can't know about this base. This is like impossible.
No, but I thought the stalker positioning was a bit funny though. But she's gonna just settle herself out on the south of Miyako's base.
Ooh, Miyako is actually adding continuously adding Banshees. She's just going straight for the air transition. The fusion core on the way. It's going to be BCs, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look at this now. This Banshee can actually. What? It forces a recall. A single Banshee forces a recall.
Yeah.
I have not seen that before.
QueenE is taking a safety bet. She's not. I wonder if she saw the Banshee and thought, what? She's a bit particular what her opponent is up to. She doesn't know about the fusion core, does she?
No, she does not. Now Templar Archives being added in here, by the way, for QueenE. Blink halfway done. More Colossi in production. This is really peculiar. Like, I haven't really seen someone just go straight to air, just because it's so risky. Look, you have 6 Banshees, 5 Marines. A Blink all-in would kill you. The Colossus bust 2 base would kill you.
She's taking a 5th base. Oh my god, Miyako, you are so greedy on it.
Yeah, super greedy. Or, either she's brave or she's stupid, you know, in that regard. Because I mean, like,
it's a fine line right now.
yeah, it's a really fine line between that. Because I mean, the risk she's taking with this is, you know, it's huge.
But imagine the gains she can get from this. I mean,
yeah,
she can pull out so many SSVs. And so
many
like hard pull her
BCs.
economy. She's like floating 1k minerals as of now. So I mean,
Ooh,
she doesn't have the defenses out here
no,
yet.
I mean,
though,
that's
so
going
these
to be
sellers are
that's going to be
painful.
planetary, more planetaries, and now starting to dump some of those minerals into Hellions. Wise choice here from Miyako, and we do actually have the fusion core dancing here. The Behemoth reactor gives those BCs 25 more energy, which means that they can use the Yamato cannon.
That's some really scary stuff.
Yeah, the Yamato cannon does 300.
But how do you counter
flat
this as a Protoss? I haven't seen this before.
BCs?
Yeah.
You get Tempests.
Oh, with the Tempest.
Yeah, but here we do have the Dark Shrine being added in, and one of these Banshees are going to get picked off. But I mean, there's very little scouting information for QueenE. I mean, she hasn't really seen too much of the infrastructure of her opponent.
She has to care about these Hellions. Those are the only defenses she has left here on the south base. Question is if these Banshees are gonna be enough here for the defenses.
Yeah, there are enough Banshees to kill all these Stalkers. I mean, they're fairly squishy, but I mean, look at the damage output. Once again, forces the recall. QueenE has to go back home. And now Miyako...
We have the first battle cruiser. We have 2 battle cruisers actually in production. This could be very, very fun to see how she pulls off with these. I mean, it's all about coming down to how she positions her forces. Because battle cruisers are extremely slow.
You mean QueenE or Miyako?
No, Miyako.
Yeah, I mean, what she wants to be doing with BCs, she wants to be adding in Ravens to complement them, and then at a later point perhaps ghosts. And then she just really wants to, you know, force the issue and, you know, start pressing towards QueenE's side of the map. Now these stalkers are going to get cleaned up, most likely. This mine is in range, Edigo. Look at the splash damage of that. It's absolutely ridiculous. Widowmanes are so good.
They are so good.
But
But
the pylon
these
remains.
SCVs are in the danger zone, and there's also something going on here in the natural of Miyako. There's a cell push here coming in from
Zolor harass, and
with
yeah,
the
this warp prism. There's
yeah.
actually nothing that shoots up, and the only
That's a problem.
way to deal with this is going to be to reveal the beasties. No, they've already been revealed.
But now QueenE knows about this.
Yeah, she needs to throw down the fleet beacon as adding in those tempests.
She's getting in Phoenixes. She's going so fast now.
Yeah, but Phoenix aren't going to do anything versus BCs. They have +2 armor to begin things with. Like that's
They're just
their
gonna
base
go
armor.
in and poke the wings
It's
and
insane.
look at it.
Yeah, like they can't touch a battle cruiser.
But if you have Phoenix plus a lot of stalkers, isn't that gonna cut it?
Well, not when it like the count gets higher. But now we have a DT coming into the 5th base here of Miyako. No turret. It's actually going straight for that planetary. Needs to drop a scan or a turret. The turret is, of course, there we go. The mass repair is going down. And the turret has started.
Another drop going on there in the natural as well. We have a lot of zealots poking in here. The warp prism.
Yeah, with the DT as well.
Did the warp prism get killed?
Yeah, I think it might have died.
From the turret, yes.
Yeah.
These branches are gonna come in here and clean these zealots up. She's losing those turrets that has defended this base quite heavily. And look at QueenE now, she's moving in here.
Yeah, I really like this maneuver, sort of pulling her opponent out of position in order to be able to apply pressure to the other side. Now there's a bunch of Phoenix. This army composition actually looks really strange from QueenE. 4 Phoenix, 2 Immortals, and then 3 Colossi. Now these Banshees will actually destroy the ground army, and there's a bunch of Vikings and the beasties here as well. There's nothing QueenE can do with this army right now. She needs to fall back, establish a stronger economy, start building that bank, and like I said, start working on getting that Tempest count before the Ravens snowball out of control.
Indeed. You still see her left base there. It's still unscouted. QueenE doesn't still know about this base.
Yeah, that's actually huge.
This DT is poking in here. There's nothing in the mineral line here though, so she's just gonna poke out there on the missile turrets. On the bright side of things, we're adding in a lot of more battle cruisers, and there are the Ravens you spoke about earlier too.
Yeah, Tempest production, by the way, has started for QueenE.
Yes, there we have them.
These are going to be super important. I would actually really like her to be adding in more. Now, a huge runway of Zealots coming into this base. Once again, the Widowmane does detonate on a lot of those SCVs. Focuses down the turret. One scan goes down because she thinks there might be a DT there, but there actually aren't any. And, yeah, this planetary is going to be too powerful. One DT as well does go down in the 3rd base. QueenE's harassment has killed 53 SCVs at this point, which is a ridiculous amount. But still, Miyako at 65 SCVs. She just continues
because she has that hidden base. I think that is doing a lot of stuff for her.
Miyako might be over SCVing here. She's at 71 and making 5 more. You want to be very careful, because if you leave your army too small at this point,
but you see how QueenE is pulling out her pylons as well. You see that in the south she has a couple of pylons that covers if her opponent would go that far, but she doesn't have them there in the top left corner. Although QueenE is pulling up a base there in the left corner as well. So she is just going to come there soon, but the question is if that's soon enough, if Miyako's economy is just gonna be enough for her to break it.
I mean, we'll have to see. Miyako's economy has been really good right now, but she's sort of locked down on these 5 bases, and as long as QueenE can sort of deny more bases to be taken here from a Terran opponent, she should be doing fine. Now another set of groups of units actually coming in to harass 2 DTs, 2 Zealots on that 3rd base. The main army of QueenE posturing outside this 5th, and there we go, going straight for that turret. No more detection. Scan goes down, but for what avail? I mean, SCVs can't fight that, and now the planetary is under siege.
Yeah, there's a lot of forces, and storms even going down there in the SCV line. And now these battle cruisers are joining the fight, and QueenE is going to do a quick recall. He's going to take out those couple of Zealots that was left behind. There's a small poke still going on here with these TTs and Zolor composition that she has here. She's coming in with a Raven, but that's not going to cut it either.
Yeah, Miyako, by the way, taking another hidden base once again. QueenE hasn't really been scouting super actively, does clean up that harassment once again. Now Miyako has lost 89 SCVs in this game.
Yeah, she's just adding on because she has so many bases that aren't being...
It's like so many... It's disgusting how many workers she's lost at this point.
Yeah, but she's still at a very...
Oh yeah, look at this, by the way. The proxy pylon just literally within earshot of like those probes should be able to like see those mules coming down from orbit. But no, anyway, once again, QueenE is going to be trying to tempt that. Oh, those Widow Mines actually.
I wonder how big Miyako is gonna push this force before she pulls out. I mean, QueenE does want to be able to push in and do some more damage than she's doing at the moment.
I don't think she can take a fight right now. She's got 7 Tempests though, so you know maybe. But I mean, the Colossi at this point are kind of dead weight. The Zealots, the Immortals, you don't really need them in this composition now. With all these Banshees and Ravens, here we go. First shots landing.
Oh, she's gonna be careful about the storms though.
Yeah, but Hunter Seeker missiles do go down.
That does
huge
a lot
impact
of damage
in the center of that Protoss
and that
army.
Immortal can't do anything, he can't shoot up. He's taken down by these Banshees, and QueenE has to recall all the Void before they do the definite damage that needs to be taken down. Wow, I mean, this game is just out of control.
I mean, look at the way that the Hunter Seeker missiles did massive damage, and like I said, the ground army was kind of irrelevant in that fight.
Yeah.
A lot of energy spent on those Yamato cannons, though. I don't actually know that the recall sort of stopped the damage from going out, because I know that if you like blink away with a Stalker, the projectile will still hit and kill. So that was always something new to learn. But now harassment coming down on these two CCs that were being constructed on the bottom right-hand side of the map. So Miyako is going to be forced to cancel those.
She's going to check this as well.
Yeah.
This base is not farming anything though, so she can lose that.
One scan should go down there, kill that TT.
Now QueenE is really cheeky. She's going to take that expansion. Question is if she's going to poke in and check whether her opponent has taken that expansion. She's soon mined out though, so I mean Miyako has already gotten the resources she needs at this point.
Yeah, but the most important part here for her is the gas. Yeah. Because I mean, these are air units, Terran air units that are always very expensive in terms of gas. Now the planetary is going to be going to town. But meanwhile, in the center of the map, we do actually have a huge engagement going on. The CC getting denied. Miyako does back off with these battle cruisers, being very careful. I mean, she has to be careful because those Tempests absolutely annihilate BCs if they can't get in range.
She has to be careful. There's a lot of gas-heavy units there. She doesn't want to lose. I mean, her uppercut here is that she has these bases that has been unforeseen by her opponent still. There, QueenE sends in the probe, and now she realizes that this base has been there
has
how
been kicking
long?
herself, you know, like damn. Now, if she clicked those geysers, she could probably calculate for how long the bases have been operational, and like I mentioned, it's all about that gas.
Yeah. And now she's gonna pull in the DTs and shut this base down.
Ooh, a lot of Zealots as well, going straight for that turret. I really like this.
Oh, is he gonna lose the DTs?
Yeah, that's a lot of damage output. Now, in the center of the map, look at all these PDDs. The storm's actually huge. Should be going for the feedbacks. There we go, dropping lots of those on top of the battle cruisers. But the Seeker missiles in the center does force a recall. Oh, needs to be so careful. Look at how much energy that was spent from Miyako in an attempt to sort of get those Tempests.
Yeah.
But the recall once again saved them.
But the battle cruisers are so low on damage right now. She needs to pull in some resources to repair that. Because these battle cruisers are really what's holding Miyako in at this point, because QueenE is just expanding left to right. I mean, her economy is just skyrocketing, and Miyako has now been forced to pull back from all those bases that she took left and right earlier. So now she's back like on 4 bases or something, and I mean, she really needs to be careful about how she pulls out this force that she has left, because I don't think she can build so much more of that.
Well, I mean, the bank isn't terrible, but the gas is fairly low. But she's adding in a lot of Ravens, so that's exactly what you want to be doing at this point. She should be squeezing in Ghosts as well. I think, adding in Ghosts to get EMPs versus a Templar would be brilliant, because that means there won't be any feedbacks on those Ravens, on those BCs, which sort of gives Miyako a lot more space in how she can utilize her air units to full effect.
Yeah, there's some poking going on around there.
Yeah, so QueenE's harassment she's been very active on the map. Main army now on the right hand side. Like Miyako's trying. She's very hesitant in like what she wants to be doing, but I mean, this is understandable. It's very hard to engage a Protoss army like this.
How many Tempests is she at, by the way?
Right now, QueenE's up to a total of 14, and she's adding in 2 more. QueenE is maxed versus Miyako's 177 supply, but there are 13 Ravens and 9 battle cruisers.
There's a big army coming in there.
Huge.
And he's gonna send in a lot of missiles there in the middle.
Seeker
is he gonna
missiles.
poke it up?
Yeah, the detonations are actually fairly decent, but I mean, these PDDs helping out a ton, and once again forces the recall.
think this is so fun to watch.
This is so... it's a fairly high-octane game for both of these players, but now another Zolor attack in the third, in the main. QueenE's Miyako's infrastructure is actually not replaceable at this point, because I mean, if she loses too many starports, she does not have the gas to rebuild that. She really must be spending that on units, but these zealots are actually taking way too long to kill.
Yeah, the ground forces on Miyako isn't really that prominent, so she has been having a tough time, like, defending every zealot and DT push that's come out so far. She has to be really creative how she is using her, like, her forces and everything like that, because it doesn't really commit to that much ground. I mean, there's been some Hellions and some Hellbats, but...
I mean, we're way past that stage. The only ground unit she wants to be having at this point, like, siege tanks would probably be fairly good to sort of deny any sort of attempts for QueenE to, you know, come in close with Templar and stuff like that, and then, you know, Ghost with EMPs. But I mean, the base on the right side does go down, but now some pot shots being taken in with these Tempests on top of that command center, and anything Miyako loses at that point is going to slowly start piling up to hurt her, and then the PDDs are going down, and you'll see how powerful they are.
Just be careful, there's a lot of SCVs she doesn't want to lose at this point.
Yeah, needs to be careful. The bank isn't massive, and QueenE is slowly but surely going to take a lead here. I mean, she's been denying bases like across the entire right-hand section of the map, so she's been doing an outstanding job with that.
Yeah, she's forcing Miyako back, and question how Miyako is going to prevent this, because she needs to take that, she needs to, like, expand and take those bases, because now QueenE is just snowballing out of control, economically wise.
More zealots throwing away their lives. Doesn't really matter too much at this point. I think QueenE actually wants to be getting rid of the zealots, because I mean, they don't really fill a role. Because I mean, they're not super effective versus Hellbats on the ground, and most of the firepower is in the air. Just like more High Templar would probably be the better choice. But now look at this +3 air weapons on the way, and another engagement. A bunch of Vikings are getting trapped under storms. More Seeker missiles going down. Should actually be lots of PDDs. I think that would be the better choice. But now the connection is going to be huge.
Oh, those Ravens have to be careful. The splash damage.
Yeah, there you can see the Armata cannons going down, picking, blowing.
All the battle cruisers are still left here.
Yeah, they're annihilating all of the air army for the Protoss, breaking those out of the sky, and now Miyako takes a 50 supply advantage over her opponent.
But she lost a lot of Ravens, though.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, she could actually just be going for it to try to hit QueenE in the infrastructure.
Yeah. I mean, what can QueenE do at this point? She needs to replace those Voiders, but it's going to take a lot of time. I mean, Tempests. It's going to take a lot of time. Yeah,
Tempests take quite a while to build. She's got the triple Stargate production. But I mean, like we said, it takes time. Miyako is using this time to sort of re-establish her economy slightly, starting to mine from this base once again. I mean, that's good. She's got that going for her. But these battle crews are fairly weak, and she really needs to start, you know, adding in additional Ravens again.
She's not extremely offensive with them. She just took this engagement to just settle her out on a new base to get back some economy and take back some gas.
Yeah, this is bad for Miyako to be this passive, even though
she needs to push in and do some economical damage on her points. There's a base right there, but she doesn't know about it.
I mean, QueenE assumes it's there.
Yeah, but I mean for Miyako to do some damage.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of economy, this army is just way too immobile to sort of do anything. I guess she could send Ravens across the map, sort of, you know, drop turrets, drop a few Seeker missiles. I think that's the best bet. But now look at this, the addition of Widowmice to complement this air army. I actually really like it, because if QueenE gets a bit sloppy and, you know, drives their army across over those mines, then she can take absolutely crippling damage to that army.
Yes, indeed. QueenE just keep on expanding here in the south, and Miyako can't really do that much about it, because as you said earlier, she doesn't have those Ravens that could go out and poke and do that initial damage. And she's actually gonna poke around here and do some damage here with these Tempest composition. Now Miyako is in a bit of trouble because her army is way back, so QueenE can absolutely do tons of damage before that force is gonna get there.
Yeah, she can pick off that base and then just leave. Now the beast is making their way across. A few storms there on the Ravens. I'm surprised no feedbacks are going down yet. Needs to be a bit careful. There we go. Forcing Miyako to sort of stay back, but does not kill the base, so it remains operational. Now, the addition of Voiders to this composition, they fare very well against battle cruisers, especially with those upgrades. QueenE at +3 air.
It's a little annoying DT here.
Yeah, and turret not going to cut it.
Is that so?
Oh, he actually,
did he?
yeah, Terra actually does kill the DT. So, I mean, that's nice,
That's
but
good.
for the cost of a lot of energy. But, I mean, QueenE has very little money, and even though her economy should be looking great, I feel that in terms of income, just not super high. But a bunch
but
of
she's 3 double her
wow,
opponent right now,
those
so...
Widowmines absolutely wrecking the Zealots and DTs. And once again, she does push in to the base on the right-hand side, while Miyako's army is out of position.
I don't feel like any of these players are that extremely aggressive. I mean, QueenE is really doing a really great job with these DTs and Zealots all over the map, but with her main army, she's not really...
No, I mean, you don't want to overcommit. Ooh, Bowder is actually nice
Doesn't
feedback
really make
there.
it.
Does get a free Raven, I mean, so like making the best out of her scenario. But you don't want to be committing in with this army. This army is extremely expensive. You can't really remake it. QueenE is lucky that Miyako gave her the time to rebuild the Tempest Count. And I don't think Miyako is going to sort of, give her that time again.
No, I think QueenE is having a lot of fun with her DTs poking around, and I mean, those DTs has done a lot of damage for QueenE so far. She's killed a lot of SCVs.
That was actually bad. The Widow Mine friendly firing on a lot of those air units. You need to be really careful with that.
Oh, this could be interesting.
Loses the Mothership core.
She can't do recalls now.
No, but I mean, she's way too far back for Miyako to sort of be able to pursue that.
Did she lose her base now because of all these DTs? Yes, she did.
Yeah, she should be making a planetary and keeping the orbital commands back. There we go, and that is going to be a planetary. That is the right call to make. But now this air army for Miyako, 8 battle cruisers and 16 ravens.
This is the only base that Miyako is farming from right now.
Yeah, but her third does have a bit of minerals, but once again, she's very gas-starved. But yeah, this Terran army, it has a lot of ravens. It's got a good, support structure. So she's got the PDDs. She has the Seeker missiles. Could even throw down mass turrets if things get desperate. But I think she wants to be adding in Vikings at this point, like a lot of Vikings. She can't be. Vikings are of course cheaper in terms of gas, which is the resource she is suffering from a lot.
Yeah.
Or suffering from lack of thereof.
QueenE is now poking in on this base once again, but now with his her main army, of course.
Ooh, look at those storms. Wrecking the SCVs, trying to repair this. That is going to fall.
Oh, Miyako's going to be pushed back to 14 SCVs, and now her main army is joining the fight there. She's trying to do as much as she can against these Templars, but...
Yeah, but the feedbacks are really good for QueenE, actually. But these Seeker missiles are going to connect. Do moderate damage. Lots of mules going down to repair these Void Rays with the Prismatic Alignment, doing a lot of damage to these PCs. And I think that QueenE is just going to push on, and she's actually crushing Miyako in this fight. Look at that supply drop. QueenE to 182, Miyako at 44. There's no way Miyako is going to be able to come back. QueenE's harassment has been absolutely stellar this game. 40 minutes in, and now finally QueenE is going to push through and take the first victory in game number 1.
Now QueenE is doing what Miyako didn't do before. She is actually being aggressive and pushing her opponent back. Now she knows that her opponent's like her whole army is gone, so she doesn't have anything to defend right now, so she is doing as much damage as she can. And there we have it, GG and QueenE.
That takes game number 1 after 41 minutes on Nimbus.
Wow.
That was the first map. To just talk a little bit of what actually happened that game was both of the players sort of fell into passive state. QueenE started harassing like crazy once she sort of realized that Miyako's economy is actually really good, so you have to sort of slow that down, have to shut that down. Transition came into air, and Miyako had a window where she could have gone for the kill, but instead she sort of stayed back, a bit scared. She wanted to defend her bases from harassment, so that gave QueenE time to sort of rebuild her army, get the Tempest count she needed, and then come back into the game. And then QueenE just took the fights better, I feel.
Yeah, Miyako lost way too much, and even if she had all those bases that she can replenish all those lost SCVs, they didn't cut it in the end. I mean, everything that she did was for a veil, I feel.
Yeah, it didn't really work out in the end there.
But I love the strategic side of this. I mean, these Raven, Viking, Battlecruiser composition, it's really, really, I would be scared going up against this as QueenE.
It's ridiculously powerful, if used correctly.
Yes.
You don't want to be using Seeker missiles.
You want to use the point defense drones.
You want to use the point defense drones. If you had better support units on the ground, maybe if you're going to be holding a position, siege tanks are great because then you cannot get feedbacked. And then ghosts are also a really good response to that, if you want to be more mobile. I see no reason to not add in ghosts. Because, I mean, you stop the Feet of Us from going down, you get the Ravens in, you drop the PDDs, and that means the Tempests are virtually useless.
Yeah, but we didn't really see I mean, you always usually have that one unit that you go to that you just keep producing over and over again that is just like mineral, not even mineral heavy. I mean, like Hellions or Marines. But we didn't see that much of that. I mean, we saw a couple of Hellions, but that was basically it. Do you think that she would need a lot more of that to come back? Or, I mean, for the defense side of things, I mean, if you didn't lose all those SCVs, you would be on a better side.
Yeah, of course. I mean, replenishing SCVs... Miyako made 205 SCVs that game.
Props.
Like, that's a ridiculous amount of workers lost. And, you know, having to replenish that is a lot of money that you don't want to be spending. You know, of course you don't want to be rebuilding stuff that you should already be having, you know, intact. But the ground army didn't really matter too much. She should have just, you know, had more planetary fortresses, had detection, and dropped scans quicker, because she took a lot of unnecessary damage to the DTs.
Indeed. But it was a very fun game to watch, I have to admit. Miyako is the loser, and she's going to pick our next map.
Yeah, we are jumping into the lobby of that game, ladies and gentlemen. And the map is going to be on Overgrowth. That is going to be game number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be kicking that off very shortly.
Very shortly.
Yeah.
And going into game number 2, what do you think Miyako is going to pull off here? I mean, we saw those sneaky bases. Now you know. Now QueenE knows that her opponent is a player that likes those sneaky bases.
This is a much smaller map. I think Miyako has something planned, like a very specific build.
Yeah, because she picked a map, so she would be foolish not to have a plan at this point, probably.
Yeah, we'll have to see anyway. I just ran out of water. That's terrible. Guys, pro tip: if you're going to be casting or doing any sort of showbiz things, on stage, stand-up comedy, whatever, drink a lot. Because I feel so bad that I ran out of water. That's the thing. Like you can't like, get up and leave to get some. But yeah, we are jumping into our second game.
Yes. So the second PvT.
Yeah. Anyway, we are now loaded into our map, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 between our 2 players. Let's go.
Alright, spawning in the bottom left position here on Overgrowth. Falling down 1-0 against her opponent. We have LDLC's Miyako.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, production.
Gives them some passion. And her opponent, representing Sweden. And of course, from Team My Insanity, she is QueenE, currently up 1-0 in this series. That's amazing.
I felt that cheer was a bit more happier for QueenE.
No, yeah, but I think that's amazing. It just gives you so much more.
Indeed, doesn't it?
It feels more alive. Because I mean, you sit there quietly after introductions and people, it's just completely silent.
It brings some attention into this whole ordeal.
So thank you there to our Qruxel Studios guy, Ludwig. He is
the man.
He's a sick nerd baller. Sick nerd baller.
I can't even picture what's a nerd ball.
So you're balling, you're you're
okay,
a nerd,
like a metaphorical.
Yeah, and you're balling, and you're amazing. Okay. You're super cool. But yeah, anyway, we do have Rax coming out from Miyako. This is Gasless so far, and she's moving out with an SCV on the left.
She's not going to scout with this SCV. I think she's up with something.
Yeah, she's just going to proxy something, because I mean she's got money saved up. Is she going to proxy a second Rax in the third of QueenE? QueenE not going for double gas, so I think she's looking to go into like proxy Oracle or an Oracle build. Yeah, there we go, the 2 racks coming up from Miyako here on Overgrowth. It's time to get a bit crazy.
Yeah, I like Miyako's play so far. I mean, first the Battlecruiser game and now this. But I mean, she has to try something different. I mean, she can't go for that long game because she felt that QueenE was probably much more dominant, like how she positioned her army and how the fights went on, like. When you had that feeling in the late game that she couldn't really do much, then I don't think you want to aim for a late game again.
No, I think, like, to be honest, like it really drains. Like, it really drains you.
Yeah, that also.
Like, fatigue is something that definitely comes into play in StarCraft 2.
What's the longest game you ever played?
The longest game I've ever played, like, you mean on ladder?
Yeah.
Like 2.5 hours.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Like, absolutely.
What did you do?
PVZ, swarm hosts. like
That's why everyone hates Swarm Host. Yeah.
like I think it was on Frost, and it was like Swarm Host, and he transitioned to Mutalisks like 3 times, so he had like 40 mutas at 3 times in the game, and we both lost like 100k resources.
Who won?
He did.
Aww.
But yeah, so
2.5 hour connection.
yeah, like that was a waste of my life. But now we have 2 more racks being added in, and Miyako actually pulling a really crazy, what is that, a 4 racks out of the hat, and QueenE is going for that Stargate build, and of course the number to hold an Oracle. Do you know the secret number? That's 6 Marines.
6.
But we have a Stalker coming in, and
QueenE
is going to see, but she's only going to see 1 of the barracks.
Question.
Yeah, but now she sees more of the Marines. Like, are you okay?
Yeah, she can probably assume that there's more behind that.
Yeah, she knows now. Mothership
she's
Core
gonna
almost
poke in
done.
with
1 more Stalker. Needs to be careful. Cannot be losing this. And I mean, the fact that Miyako's losing Marines. Yeah, the fact that Miyako's losing these Marines, like this.
But look in the middle of the map. Is that a lot of SCV train? Is that an SCV? That's an SCV train. She's
the boys
now.
are being pulled with a few extra Marines reinforcing from home, and now QueenE has. She is under pressure. She needs to sort of fall back, chill out, wait for the Oracle, and really use that. Focus down those Marines, because once the Marine count is, significantly reduced, then she is just going to win this game. But until then, it's all about making that hold.
She's not going to put down a bunker or anything of that kind, probably, because her economy is just so low, and she needs to commit everything into just pushing in more Marines so she can counter the Oracle that is committing. And then the Oracle is going to poke in, but she's not really fully committing. She's gonna hover it with a bile, and now the Mothership Core joins the fight, and the Oracle also
nice
is
focus.
trying.
Yeah, nice focus there on the Mothership Core though to deny that photon overshot, but the Oracle damage is just too high, and the SCV is actually going to attack that assimilator. You don't want to be doing that, and every single Marine in the main of QueenE does get cleaned up along with all those SCVs. There's now 13 supply remain here for our LDLC Terran, and I think she is going to be falling out in this game, giving QueenE the 2-0.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate
what can you
there.
do now?
That Stalker, man.
Yeah, that was a hero Stalker. The game did find that if that went unscouted, QueenE would have died.
But don't you think QueenE had that coming? Like, she had a spider sense tingling there.
Maybe.
She's probably pulling off something.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, like Miyako must have some sort of specific build planned.
Yes.
At that point.
Yes.
Because I mean, otherwise I don't think a Terran would pick Overgrowth.
No.
Because they have like a build or a style they want to be playing on that map.
Indeed.
So yeah, congratulations.
And this time it was the proxy barracks.
Yeah.
So QueenE is going to go into the final, but please remember that we have a loser bracket as well. So even if QueenE qualifies in this final, it's not really that final. It's a winner bracket final only, and then she's going to go into the official finals if she commits into that final. And there's a lot of finals. Yeah,
there's a lot of finals. Now QueenE is going to actually move on, like you said, to face off against Qruxel. Yeah, German player.
All right.
So, a small shout out to her, of course, from our very own Alexander Zaveg Lind, my other co-caster. He apparently knew us, just like throwing that out in case she watches the VOD.
So if you're watching, you have friends rooting for you.
Yeah, if you stream cheating,
Doesn't everyone?
Everyone stream cheats.
If you name Tenshi. No. All right.
Yeah.
We know that Qruxel is done, so we probably can have this next map set up quite fairly soon.
Yeah, we hope so. But between that and then, we'll just cut it to a quick break between, the next, what is that, the winners finals.
We won't be long, guys. My name is Zolor.
We won't be long, and I'm Tenshi.
See you soon.